This morning we're going on a last-minute dive trip to a location in Thailand that professional divers and the local divers rave about. So we're gonna chuck our dive gear in the bag and find out if this should be on your Thailand diving bucket list. Let's go. We're not going to tell you where it is just yet, but what we will tell you is it's very close to one of Thailand's most popular diving destinations. This place is also rumoured to be a great place for spotting our big spotty fish friend, whose name we can't say because we don't want to spoil our luck, but if you know, you know. We're going to be driving for about 4 hours today, and then we're going to stay overnight ready to go diving first thing in the morning. 2.5 hours later than we thought we'd be, but we are ready to go in the car, to drive, to go to the place where we're going to go diving.
4 hour drive. 4.5 hours possibly.
Need a wee.
Good morning. So, where are we? We are in Chumphon. Have you heard of it? Probably not.
So why have we come to this pretty unknown diving destination? Well, since last year we've been hearing dive pros and local divers tell us that Chumphon is worth a visit.
I think it's pronounced Chumphon.
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 Chumphon is worth a visit. And we got the opportunity to join our mate yesterday. He called us up. It's like, we're going for a couple of dives. Do you want to join? This is the perfect opportunity to let you know if it's worth stopping here for a couple of dives.
Sorry, there's just decided to take a perch.
He's listening. He wants to know about it. So we want to let you know if it's worth coming here just as a commute over to Koh Tao, Koh Samui, or whether you should be staying here just a little while longer to check out the diving. You can see it's a really beautiful, shallow bay. There's a lot of local Thai tourists out this morning, walking around, only like ankle deep, and they're really far out already. But is it good for diving? And that is what we're going to find out today. We've got another dog here just digging a hole. Look how cute. Anything in there? Oh my God, look at that one over there as well, Aaron.
Sticking his head in the sand. And people have been sticking their head in the sand about Chumphon, so let's see if it's a perfect metaphor. So you probably have heard of Koh Tao. It's probably the most famous diving location in Thailand. We would argue not the best, but it's still very good and great for beginners. We highly recommend it for beginners, in fact. We're going to see if Chumphon is a good alternative to Koh Tao. See if the marine life is similar, see if the kind of dives are similar, but without the crowds, and that's what we come to find out. If you've been following our channel or if you've seen any of our previous videos, you might know that we're both professional divers. We both worked in the industry for about 12 years between us. We worked in the Maldives, Thailand, Australia. We just got back from Raja Ampat, which, depending on when you're watching this, you'll be able to see on our channel or it's coming soon. And we like to give an unbiased opinion when it comes to recommending places. If you're a beginner, if you're advanced, if you are on a budget, we want to find out everything we can and we're going to let you know. And that's what our channel is all about.
Giving you unfiltered, raw diving recommendations.
So, update. Checked into Chumphon Diving Centre and now we are walking down to the dinghy. We believe we are doing a shipwreck for the second dive. We're not sure what we're doing for the first dive. Apparently it's 40 minutes to the dive site and it looks like there's about 14 guests on board. And I think they're taking snorkelers as well as divers by the looks of it. So that's all we know for the moment. Conditions still look really good. Should be good. We've got our friend Paul here. He reckons he's a diver, we're not too sure.
Try my hardest.
we are on our way to the first dive site. We have heard some of the big news that a big spotty fish was seen here yesterday.
We're just waiting on them to tell us when our dive briefing is, and then we are going to take you diving in Chumphon Marine Park. So, we have discovered that the dive we are doing is a pinnacle dive, which has a name, which we don't know what it is.
The name is...
So basically the entire briefing was in Thai. Luckily we've got a pair of Thai speaking people with us, so they can tell us what's going on. And we're going to go and have a lovely dive. Let's see what we go and find. So the first dive, I'm very impressed. Saw 2 turtles, which is very cool and unexpected.
Started out really murky, but you could still see there were heaps of fish. And then we got around the corner and the viz was beautiful. And just the rock formation there, where the pinnacles come out from the surface, all this rock is going down 20 meters plus. And it's beautiful. Loads of different, like layers of fish, and heaps of soft coral, anemone. Oh my God, lovely. Really unexpected, really nice.
Yeah, so plenty of fish life, plenty of action, so you don't need to go all the way to Raja Ampat.
So after the dive we got back onto the boat. Freshwater showers on this boat, which is great. And not only that, they've got towels for everyone, which is very uncommon on day boats. And then we just had an amazing lunch. It's fresh seafood, chicken curry, chicken wings. It's really impressive. And there's so much space. There's even an air-conditioned room down or below deck.
If you're familiar with diving in Koh Tao, or if you're not familiar, I'll tell you that you will expect to see lots of boats on a dive site most of the time, and lots of divers in the water. But here, the dive-in is quite similar, and you haven't got all the crowds, you haven't got all the people, and not as glamorous, obviously, but if you want to stop here for a couple of dives on your way to and from the islands, it's a pretty good option.
So yeah, shipwreck, we believe, is next, which is going to be a really different dive. We're going to get the briefing in Thai and hopefully get it translated, just to understand where we can penetrate the wreck and where we can safely navigate around the wreck. Also, just find out a bit of history, because when you're doing wreck dives, often there's a lot of history behind them, unless they've been purposefully sunk. I'm a nerd.
Yes. So shall we go in it, see what the briefing's all about?
Yes.
This boat is called Prab. It is from the Second World War. Okay, so there's actually 2 of these. This one's 741, there's another one 742, and that's over on Koh Tao. Now, you can go through the ship. It's open all the way through. You just have to go straight. 15 minutes dive time, maximum depth 20. Okay, and if we're lucky, the old whale shark might make an appearance. He said last week it was here too, apparently, so fingers crossed, touch wood.
So we just finished diving at the wreck. Enjoyed it. It's a World War II ship. I think Paul explained it earlier. So the Satakut wreck, which is the main wreck that you can dive off of Koh Tao, so this is the twin of that boat. Lots of fish life around it. We saw a turtle again, which is very nice.
is a really lovely little spot to go diving. I like you, Chumphon. We're coming back.
I suppose we should tell you what the price is of the double dive trip. For 2 dives on this boat is 2,800 baht. Equipment is extra on top of that, so it's another 300 for equipment. And today we did have the national park enforcement come around and we had to pay an extra 400 each for the national park fees. So 3,500 if you were hiring gear and if the national park people come around.
Per person?
Per person. In comparison to that, to go to the Similans, if you do a day trip to Richelieu Rock, that costs 6,500. That's including national park fees, not including equipment. I think it was an extra 200 or so for equipment. Comparison to Koh Tao, it's not as glamorous, not as beautiful on land, obviously, but you do have the advantage of not being so crowded. And it's very similar sort of coral life, but it's definitely worth coming here.
I would say it's pretty beginner friendly here. It's relaxed, like getting ready for the dives. There's no rush, there's plenty of space. The service on board has been fantastic, helping with the gear, helping you get into the water safely, get out of the water safely. The briefings, although they've been in Thai, have been very thorough. And I'm sure that they will be able to accommodate if you're saying you need translations or whatever. But it's been a great day. I'm glad we came. I'm glad you now know what to expect when coming to Chumphon. If you have found this video useful, please like and subscribe for more dive videos where we take you to places you haven't heard of and we tell you really what the diving is like, what you can expect and whether it's worth it. See you in the next video, guys. Happy bubbles!